We're Simply Made Local, and if you haven't heard of us before, we are an online virtual handmade marketplace. We are an Etsy alternative for buying and selling unique handmade products. I'll introduce you to our team. I'm Abby.
Ryan.
Taylor.
Carrie.
Oh, Taylor.
You get your name right?
It just never feels right. It's like, I want it to sound better and flow better, and it just never does.
Well, we love you just the way you are. You're here. We are happy to be here. Let me tell you, if you are joining us for the first time this evening, I will tell you that we do run our virtual handmade marketplace during the week. Well, actually 7 days a week because we never close and we're always working.
No, we don't.
But we do on Thursday nights here on Facebook Live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Thursday. We just set aside an hour and we do what we love. We do some crafting. So we thought we would bring it here to you live, show you what we're doing, and we invite you to craft along with us or just take that hour for just some crafty time. So I know that we're going to get started here. How was everybody's week this week? Let's start with that.
Not bad. I think I have like a little bit of Christmas, like senioritis, but Christmasitis is what I'm gonna call it. Yeah. I want Christmas to be here, and so I'm anticipating it, like a little kid.
No, because then it will be over, and I'm actually enjoying it.
I know.
It here.
But so I don't know. I feel like the weeks have been crazy and hectic, and everything just going on. But I think it just makes you a little bit extra thankful for, your family and who you have around you. So that's been kind of nice too. And everyone that we work at a hospital, of course. So I feel like everyone's just been a little extra, I don't know, gracious and thankful lately. Yeah. But also just gracious and thankful. And yeah. So it's just been kind of eye-opening too. Just, saying thank you to everyone around and that sort of thing too. So
yeah. And I had to go assist another hospital this week, a few hundred miles away. And even there, they were very, very thankful and everyone was very gracious. Frontline workers are truly amazing and definitely want to say thank you because none of us are frontline, even though we're a bunch of nurses and moms and stuff, we're not frontline workers anymore. And being able to go and help those men and women was really special this week, even though it was a long drive.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for doing that, Ryan. What I was going to say was what I'm especially loving this time of year is that there's just so much going on and there's just so much kind of craziness and things are escalating and just getting, just different, changing, every day changing. And with Christmas, I feel like it's kind of forcing me to be a little more cheerful than I probably would. So it is a great distraction. So I know that we have been trying to stay positive and focused here at Simply Made Local. So we've just been pumping out the content and I am just so proud of this team. I will just let everybody know because you guys work your tails off and it shows. And if you haven't been over to simplymadelocal.com, please come check us out. Not only are you going to see a virtual marketplace just filled with some incredibly talented artists, just doing their best to put their best foot forward and put out those incredible products. So thank you if you've been on there, and if you're shopping small this season, that really helps out a person and not a big company. So that makes a difference. But also we are a crafting blog. So if you enjoy crafting and you love all things crafting, go to the at simplymadelocal.com. You can hit that blog button right at the top or scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. And you're going to see some really incredible stuff. We've been putting out last week. Oh my goodness. Our team came together and we put together a really awesome holiday gift guide that featured 24 incredible vendors.
It was a good one.
There were so many amazing ones.
There were so many amazing products in there. I mean, but not only were they amazing, I will tell you this, if you haven't read the article, go over there and read it, because it is stuff that you would never think about. And if you're looking for somebody who you don't know what to buy, guarantee you'll find something on that list for them, because it's stuff that nobody would necessarily ask for. But
they'd be super stoked to get, for sure.
Yeah. What was I saying the other day? It's for the person who didn't know that they absolutely need it, is these kind of things. But it'll just enrich their lives. So go on over there, and even if you just check out those vendors and follow them on social media, you're really supporting them. So we thank you for checking that out. So I know that we're letting everybody kind of come on, so we're going to give it just a minute here, and then we're going to get started. So
we always ask you guys to share. You know, obviously that helps get it out there to everybody. And we always ask you guys, if you guys are on here watching us, to go ahead and share where you guys are from. We love to hear you guys and talk to you guys while we're on here. Just because we're on here crafting doesn't mean that we don't want to, you know, engage and talk to you guys. So let us know where you guys are from. And if you guys are crafters and you guys own your shops, or just even put your stuff up on Facebook, feel free to tag all of your stuff in the comments, and we will go on there and check you guys out. We love to see all of your handmade stuff and check it all out. So get on there and talk to us. We love to talk to all of you.
We want to support you, and we want all of our viewers to be able to support you too. So if you make something, please put that link below in the comments.
Hi, Michelle. Thanks for watching from Texas.
Wow.
Yes. And if you didn't know, we are all Southern California based. So that is where we are all from. So we are all from the same area, but we get together virtually every Thursday night. This is our thing. And every single time, every single Thursday, we do a craft. And we put up all of these supplies on Mondays. So if you guys want to craft along with us on Thursdays, all of the craft supplies, we let you guys know ahead of time what we're doing on Mondays. So kind of cool. You guys can craft along with us.
I'm super excited for next week's, because we're not actually doing a craft. We're going to be doing some really cool New Year's drinks. So that's just for all of us, because we want to like help you get ready for New Year's, and however you may be celebrating. It's probably going to be virtual, just like us, but we're really excited. So definitely check out that.
Hi, Pats. Oh, Michelle is originally from Whittier. We know where that is.
We know where that
nice
is.
And local. Very cool.
And hi, Marina. And hi, Pat. North Vancouver. Is that Canada? Do we have a Canadian viewer?
Is it cold right now?
I like how we act like we have no idea what's going on in Canada. I mean, it's like, you know, bucket list to go, you know.
So awesome there. If it just didn't snow so much, I'd be there. Also, they won't let Americans in right now, I don't think. So there's that too.
Okay. So Ryan, do you want to tell everybody what we're doing tonight?
So this is round 2 of our handmade gifts that people actually want. We scoured the internet and found some things that we thought we would really like to get as a handmade gift this year. Trying to help out people, give them some cool ideas for what they might be able to make. Because I don't know, we all feel that like handmade is definitely far more meaningful than just store-bought, and you're supporting somebody small too. So what I am doing, actually I'm not 100% sure what the other girls are doing, because this one's been kind of on the DL, but I am taking a store-bought throw blanket that I got at Target, and I'm sprucing it up with pom-poms and making it a little more customizable and handmade. So I'm going to show you how to make some really cool pom-poms and how to attach them to a blanket.
Wonderful.
Does this give any of us some very early Simply Made Local vibes, you guys?
Yeah. The pom-pom tutorial was our big.
Yes. That's when I first came on with you guys too.
Yeah. So Ryan and I, we were in the office today and we were talking about this, and she brought out the pom-pom maker. And we were talking about it, and she looked at me and she's like, "Do you remember how to use this?" And I said, No, but we have a tutorial on it.
I did. I want to go to my own website, my own blog, and look it up because it has been like a year and a half since we did this, our very first one. And I just remember, wow, we've come a long way.
We have come a long way. We have so many tutorials on our YouTube channel. So if you're just looking for some really cool ideas, we appreciate if you take a look at that at Simply Made Local. And while you're there, subscribe to our channel because we put out this video every week, but then we also put out some extra tutorials, just some quick tips and tricks on how to do some of the latest techniques on some different projects. So that is something that we really love doing, and we try to do that as often as possible because anytime we can get our hands like dirty on a craft, we're gonna want to do that. So please check us out on YouTube. And you're right, I forgot how to make that too. So going back all the way to our first tutorial would have been pretty nostalgic.
Yeah.
That sounds really fun.
Also, we've done a lot of tutorials.
All right, so oh my goodness. Okay, so first I'll stop. This is a part 2. So if you didn't catch last week's, you can take a look at this video on our Facebook videos, or that will be coming soon on our Facebook channel. But we did part 1 of our holiday handmade gift ideas. So if you're looking for ideas, you can check that one out too. We had some really cool stuff last week, including a hot chocolate bomb, which is just so popular this season. And if you don't know what a hot chocolate bomb is, you definitely want to check out that video because they're mind-blowingly awesome. So check that out. But tonight I am going to kind of keep it simple this evening. I had a whole box of some oven baked clay. And so I thought I would just do something kind of really simple. This is something that you can get from, I think I got this pack from Walmart, and this had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 different colors in it, which is really cool. But it's just oven baked clay. So you sculpture something out, throw it in the oven on low heat for a couple minutes, and boom, you've got this really cool project. So we did first introduce clay in a tutorial we did over the summer, and it was we did some earrings and some other jewelry. I know that's something that's like super trending is those
yeah.
Yes, my ring holder.
Yeah.
Did the marble.
You guys did a great job.
So, I know
that was the one you didn't like very much, huh?
It was funny. I know
if you guys love to watch people suffer, then you guys should watch that one.
Taylor did put her best foot forward on that one. But I know you're seeing like all those different clay earrings all over Instagram. They just flood our feed. And they're just so cool, but they're pretty easy to make. I know that there are some really talented artists that have really intricate designs, but the basis of it is really simple. So check out that tutorial on our channel. But tonight I'm just gonna make some really cool like tassel keychains. So I really don't have a plan for what I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna like roll out some really cool shapes. I'm gonna do it kind of in a lanyard fashion, and then put a tassel at the end of that with a key ring on there. And this is a really fun thing because you can make them in all sorts of different colors, and you could give these out to maybe somebody who's like a coworker, or just like in your girls groups, or a neighbor, or your postman. Somebody who you're not super close with.
Anyone's human.
But this is all stuff I had in my craft room, so this isn't going to cost me anything extra, and it's just a thoughtful gift that I can include with a card and give to somebody and really make their day. So that's what I'm making.
I like it. All right, Carrie, go ahead.
Only
because I see you over there just like whittling away, and I want to see it happen.
More manpower than I expected, but I am making a photo album out of a book. So I am trying to cut this panel out right now because it's taking quite a bit of time. But I already painted this guy and kind of tried to.
Carrie, I have a quick question. Are you using an Exacto knife?
I am.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah, that's my tool for the evening. I am MacGyvering this, okay? So
I was just curious because I happen to know somebody else who in your household who really loves Exacto knives.
yes, he does, and this is his. So, and it's like tiny. I need a box cutter. I need something much more powerful than this, but it's working. It's just a lot of stabbing. So, anyhow. And then I've kind of antiqued the paper a little bit, which I figured out a fun little trick for that. I have this cool little furniture fixer pencil. That's what I'm going to call it. And I used a paintbrush and just kind of.
Those furniture markers are so handy for so many projects. I've really been using those a lot lately.
Yeah,
I forgot I even had it. So, because this is a brand new book, it's like a 99-cent store book. So I wanted to make it look a little bit more like weathered. So that's what I'm doing with the papers, and we'll see how this goes.
All right. So we have a few more people that have hopped on to say hi. Hi, Chris and Robin and Brian and Christy. Hello, everybody.
Oh, Brian's asking Abby, what is that cool Mickey Mouse behind you?
Oh,
Oh,
this is one of my favorite pieces. So I created this piece. So this is just a piece of artwork. Everybody knows I am a Disney fanatic. So anytime I can incorporate a little bit of Disney, a little bit of boho, that's pretty much my house. I try to keep things whimsical, but then I also have this deep love for, I don't know, asymmetrical shapes and and I love a lot of earth tones. So I love greens and plants. So that's kind of my decor. So this piece is one of my favorites, and I love it. But it's just a wall decoration piece. Thanks for asking.
It's one of my favorites. I love that one.
I love that one. Really cool.
Yeah, and I made a little a smaller sort of version that I painted a couple weeks ago. We were doing handmade ornaments. Let me see. And so I thought it would be really neat to kind of do a similar version on a handmade ornament. So this was kind of on the tree. So this is on a wood slice round, and I just did that same sort of style. So
very cool.
Very cute. All right, you're up.
Okay. So I am doing something called, it sounds really gross. But I'm doing something called tub tea. And
oh, my mom is going to enjoy this one.
So it is essentially a mixture of things, and you can do them in different ways. But you take a jar. So here's my jar, and you mix different things. So in mine, I am doing a chamomile lavender oatmeal mixture. So I have oatmeal that I have ground down into like a powder. I have Epsom salts here, and I have some lavender essential oils that I'm going to put a few drops into my Epsom salts. And then I have chamomile lavender tea, and that is just normal old tea bags that I took and cut them open and then just poured them into these different cups. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these ingredients and I'm going to layer them into this jar and just layer them to make them kind of look pretty. And then I am going to make it like look nice on the outside, either put a bow. I was even thinking about doing maybe a cute scoop or maybe a tablespoon to go along with it. Because when you give it as a gift, people can open these near the tub and then they can take a scoop out and then put as many scoops as they want into the tub. But you're supposed to let it, go into the tub and let it soak and then, get in the tub. But the oat is obviously to help with skin, and the Epsom salt is supposed to help, you relax, and then along with that tea and everything like that. So that is what
in the tub is
for you. I will give it to you. Oh my gosh, I'm getting rid of all of my old measuring cups, and I have one that looks like a mason jar.
Perfect.
Yes. I will give it to you.
Okay, perfect. Then we'll add it to this.
I love that. I love that. Anytime you can give the gift that's going to relax somebody, that's a pretty cool gift.
Or
Yes.
keep them warm. Those
Well,
of us
and I'm
who
all
always
about it
follow-
because
Keep them warm or help them find their keys.
Yeah,
These are some thoughts.
let's see. Robin is asking if I ground up the salt. No, Robin, I did not grind up the salt. I just literally bought this. I don't know if you can see it. Epsom salt
Perfect.
from Target. That's where I got mine.
That's what I use.
So I didn't grind it up. It just came like this. The only thing I had to grind up was the oats.
All
That's
right.
it.
What
Okay.
did you just use your coffee grinder?
I used my magic bullet grinder. That is what I used.
I was wondering. I meant to ask you earlier.
So,
What you were doing.
Okay.
also, Zach, you're gonna need some more oatmeal for your breakfast.
I love it. Okay, so I know this looks a little strange. You've got 4 people on your screen, and I like to remind everybody of this every week because we do things a little differently here at Simply Made Local. So we are 4 ladies who have 4 different tastes, preferences, and crafting styles. So this is your one chance to get 4 different projects in one video. So we're on here for about an hour, and we're gonna probably tilt down our cameras and really show you how to do these projects. We're all doing them at the same time. So if there's one in particular that you like to would like to attempt, just kind of focus on that one, and then you can rewind the video later and watch a different one if you'd like. And remember that these are always on our YouTube channel at Simply Made Local, and you can rewatch these at any time. And there are also a lot of different tutorials, remember, on that blog at simplymadelocal.com. And that's at the bottom of our virtual marketplace that is open every day. So if you need some ideas on handmade gifts to give for the season, you're definitely going to find something for that person in your life. So I am not sure exactly what you're doing there, Carrie. So will you explain or tilt your camera down?
I'm fighting with this the whole time. Okay, so my book is obviously it's a hardcover book, and it's like a really hardcover book. So I just cut a panel out of it. Painstakingly with an Exacto knife. And Taylor, I just figured out who you were referencing with the Exacto knife, and yeah, super fun for me.
I was waiting for it to kick in, and I was just gonna tell you after this live if you didn't figure it out.
It's my husband's Exacto knife, but he's not the one who makes me use this all the time. So,
No,
okay.
that's why I was waiting for you to figure it out.
That's how in this I am. So I just measured about an inch on each side and drew a little box and used my handy little borrowed ruler and cut the crap out of this, and it finally came out. So I have this panel that came out of there. So this, you could just do this and put a picture right here and have just like a little book frame, kind of like this style. But I am going to attempt to go a little farther with this, and I'm going to be cutting out a little bit more. I have to measure it around the edge. So I'm going to have this cover photo kind of around the edges of in here. And then I'm going to cut out some more pages so I have a little bit of the text showing through. So it's kind of be like layers, I guess. And then I'm going to put my picture in the middle of the skinniest layer, basically. So
Very
Oh,
cool.
awesome.
So I'm going to go ahead and start measuring and like trying to draw out this other little box so that I can make sure that I have this properly done here. This is probably the worst part for me because I am not good at straight lines. So
Carrie, I think I just heard your phone go off.
my phone?
You should check that message. Anyway, so I am creating like a tube on the keychain, and So I'm gonna probably apply some paint here on this piece, and then I'm going to thread through this with a piece of metal, and then feed through some string after it goes into the oven. So I'm gonna make sure that that hole is really, really wide. And then I'm going to connect it onto a couple more pieces and then do a tassel at the end. So right now I'm just randomly doing different shapes. So you don't have to be symmetrical with this. They don't even have to be perfectly shapen. I'm probably going to add some really different weird edges to this to make it seem kind of like, I don't know, just different shapes. And so it really just kind of gives different textures and different shapes looking, because they're all going to be smooth, to the keychain. And it'll probably be a good amount this big, so that you can find your keys in your purse. So, all right.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over mine. So I guess I can undo what I just did. But so when you get this, it's all closed up like this. If you've never seen one of these before, and you just open two sides like this, as you can see, I did one side already. And you just start wrapping the yarn all the way around, and you're gonna wrap it until you cover the whole of the part that's the half moon circle to make a pom-pom. And then you just want to fill it so that this part is flat with the pom-pom yarn, with the yarn that you're using. Like, so then it's like flat like that, clear across, full. You can't see any of the plastic underneath. And then you'll close it up. Let me just get the yarn, and then I'll show you what to do after that. Because then you cut it and then you tie it. And then you've got a pom-pom.
I never knew that this pom-pom maker existed, and I think it is incredible, because I always wanted to learn how to make a pom-pom, and I didn't know that there's something called a pom-pom maker. Oh my goodness. So you can get that. I think we got this one at Walmart. I know they sell it at Michael's, Hobby Lobby.
It's the Clover brand. And when you buy the little pack, I originally got this at a Pinterest convention 2 years ago in LA. Okay, so then once you've got your yarn filled up and you've got your sides closed back up, you'll see that there is two hats. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your scissors and you're gonna cut the yarn down the middle. That middle section is your guide to tell you where to cut the yarn. So you just cut all the way through, and I'm using really big, fat, fluffy yarn, so it's a little trickier. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other half. All the way through. Ugh. And then I'm just gonna cut a piece, a pretty long piece, because I want this to be the tail of my pom-poms, how I'm going to attach it to the blanket. And then you use that same guide and you pull the yarn through tight, and then you tight all the way through, and then you're going to tie a knot and then pull it down tight in the middle. And then I like to flip it over because I want it to be really secure, and do another knot on the other side. Oh my gosh, you guys, I hear my husband walking on the roof. He's putting up Christmas lights. Okay, so once you've got it tied twice, then you lift the sides. I think that's the craziest part of this thing, is figuring out how it works. And then you pull it apart. And then you have a pom-pom. And then, of course, I've got a couple of extra strings from where I wrapped it around, and it's a little uneven. So then I'll just take my scissors and trim it up. So it's nice and perfectly round. And that is how easy the pom-pom maker is.
I love it.
I know you can do like pom-poms with a fork, and you can do pom-poms on a piece of cardboard, and lots of people do that very successfully. I just like this because it's super consistent. And when I'm doing a gift like this, where I'm putting like the same kind of thing, a bunch of them, I want them to be consistent.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
What I like about the pom-pom is the maker is that everything is consistent. You get the same fullness and roundness. So
I love that. And I love that it's almost like you're upcycling. So you could even find a blanket from Savers or the Salvation Army.
Yeah, exactly.
And you could definitely just upcycle a really cool blanket. That would make a really nice gift. Okay, so for this piece, I think I'm going to do more of like a circle, and then I'm gonna do this really cool, give it like a leopard.
So the next thing you'll need to attach it to the blanket is, I am using a crochet yarn needle. Well, I'm sure you use it for other things, but I crochet, so I use it for crocheting. And then I'm just gonna loop one of these tails through. And then because this was kind of like a crocheted blanket that I'm attaching them to anyways, I just tie it through a couple of the stitches. So as you can see, I already did a couple. I'm going to do, I think, a total of 4 on each end. So I'm just spacing this out and I'm just tying it through. I'm taking one of these little loops and tying. I'm going to go through a few times, tying in knots as I go. And then when I'm all done, I'm going to push the string out through the middle and secure it that way again. So then it hides the end and just, I'll trim it off. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm actually going to measure it out because I want to make sure it's even.
I was able to kind of roll this into a teardrop, and I think I'm really liking this shape. And I think that this one will be kind of cool to do in adding some leopard print to that. So I'm kind of keeping these actually, maybe I'll make this into a full like kind of cone. I'm going to square off that bottom piece and then make that into the leopard. And then I've got these other 2 pieces here. So as you can see, I'm just creating this sort of lanyard look. So for to create a leopard print inside clay, you can take a look at that other video that we did on the clay jewelry, because I did some really cool leopard earrings there, but I will do it again here. With that, you're going to need a neutral color to be your base, and then you're going to need some black and some either brown or tan. So we'll get that going. We'll cut some more of this tan. And what I like about this is you don't have to be nervous, because you can't really mess it up. The more kind of, I don't want to say crazy, don't get all crazy, but the more crazy you are with it, the better it looks.
Can I just say that all these scents over here are making me like, I'm just going to leave. I'm going to go take a bath right now. Bye, guys.
So you're going to break off some little balls from the little tan clay that you just did. And you're going to press these little balls into the shape. So I'm just going to create a bunch of little tiny clay balls. And I'll probably do 3 to 5 of these, and I'll do them, they don't even have to be a consistent size. So I'm going to do a bunch of different sizes here. And I'll show you, you're going to press the tiny little tan balls into the neutral color, and then you're going to create some, you're going to roll out the black clay, and then you're going to outline the shape that's created with these, with the tan. You're going to outline that. It'll make sense when you see it. So it's kind of hard to see, but I did 2 little sizes. And now I'm just going to take the black and I'm going to roll out some little snakes. Snakes.
Well, I got one side done and now I'm starting on my other end.
My layers are done in my tub tea.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, wow. I love the green in that. That is great, Taylor.
telling you guys, I want to go take a bath. It smells so good in here.
Chamomile is so wonderful. Carrie actually gave me a really good hint on when you have a fussy baby, throw some chamomile tea bags in their bathtub and it works like wonders.
It is. I was going to say that earlier. That's how we used to do all her baths when she was a little baby.
I was gonna say, or when you have a fussy adult.
Yeah. Also that.
Yeah.
You want a no-tear bath when they're tiny. That is the perfect way to go.
Oh, and another mom trick. I think Carrie might have taught me this one too, but you can take washcloths and dump them in some chamomile tea and then throw them in the freezer.
Yes.
And have them gnaw on that. And my son. Okay. So you're going to take your neutral color and your little tan color, and you're just going to place that right on there. And you're just going to press it in. And it can be, it can take on really any shape. Sort of the more different the shape becomes, the more authentic it will look, because no spot is actually round. So smush away.
So I want to add a little bit of.
Robin,
sorry, go ahead.
Gonna make it, Taylor.
Yay! Okay, so I see Robin was talking about the powdered milk. I did see another recipe, if you are going to try it, Robin, for the one with the powdered milk, and it was actually Epsom salt, white rose tea bags, and powdered milk. And that one sounded amazing. So there's tons in there. I just have it at night, so that's why I chose this one. But the powdered milk one sounds really nice too.
Oh, I wonder what powdered milk does good for your skin.
All kinds of stuff. Milk's usually pretty softening for skin.
No.
So I remember when I was a kid, and I like vividly remember this, and I don't know if they still make it, but Aveeno used to make the little packets, just like they were just packets of oatmeal, like just of oats. And when I had chickenpox, I remember my mom throwing me in a bathtub full of Aveeno oatmeal, and me just sitting there trying not to itch all my skin off.
Right.
In a bathtub full of oatmeal.
And if you stayed still for so long, you could eat it as well.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is dinner and soothing.
Yeah, dinner and a bath.
Dinner and a bath.
So I just added a cute little piece of fabric in there. And it gave it like a cute little farmhousey vibe, guys. And I'm kind of obsessed with it. But I got these fabric squares from the dollar store. They come in little rounds or in little things like this for $1.
Yeah, I got some too. Mine had polka dots and stripes.
Yeah, polka dot stripes. They even have holly. They had a green.
A holly one too.
They have the green check.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some more of those heating pads from last week. My dad saw mine laying on my table, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, this feels so great."
Yeah.
So yeah, check out last week's find out how to make your own heating pads. Rice packs, microwavable rice packs.
Yes.
I have been taking that thing everywhere. I'm telling you guys.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. I love mine.
It works now.
My whole family, well, especially my husband too. I don't know if he used them before he met me, but I swear by them.
So
Yeah,
the
you
idea,
the recent one who got me hooked on them.
the idea here is just to do a somewhat outline of that piece of brown, and then you're just going to smush it in and just kind of give it like that. There you go. And now you have a leopard print. So you want to keep a little bit of opening around it, but it doesn't have to be in any direction. So that is a lot of fun. So I'm just going to continue that all the way around. With this piece, once the clay dries, I think I'm going to add some white paint to this and just do some like etching of different lines and things just to give it a different pattern. And then when you're right before I'm going to put these in the oven, I'm going to put a hole down the middle. And like I said before, make sure that hole is substantial because, you know, you're going to be threading something through it. So you want to make sure that you're going to get something through it. So I think this last one here, I'm going to add maybe a square or a circle with this same tan, and then I'm going to show you how to make a tassel at the end, and then you guys will be able to catch our finished projects this weekend. We'll be having those up on our Instagram at Simply Made Local. You can also check out all of our tips and tricks and everything that we do on our Pinterest boards over at pinterest.com. You would search at Simply Made Local. You're going to see, you know, some of our stuff come up, and then go ahead and go on over to our boards. We just have so many boards up right now that just have a lot of really fun holiday ideas. So if you're not quite sure what to get somebody, or how to, all the way to how to dress up your table for Christmas, we've got it all. So we've kind of really taken out that guesswork for you to figure out what you should be looking for. We kind of found it all for you. So that's a lot of fun. So I think I've got this, I don't know how to, let me try to move some of the stuff so you can see. So I've got this kind of cone shape. I'll probably start with, I have a square clay that I made. So I'll probably start with the square, then do this cone, then go with this long piece, and end with this tan circle. So I think that looks a lot of fun there. And then I'm going to do this tassel that I have some twine here. So I'm going to go ahead and make that, and then that'll kind of be a really fun keychain. Kind of like muted colors. I know that you guys see a lot of stuff with bright colors, and I do love a bright colored keychain and all sorts of stuff, so don't get me wrong. But every now and then I like to go with some of these muted colors.
Carrie, how's it going in there?
Holy cow. This is it's a lot of Exacto knifing, so if you're not into that idea, I'm thinking it might have been a whole lot easier if I decided to just do the cutout of the cover, but I kind of like the layers, so
yeah,
that's
the
where
layers are gonna look really cool.
That's going to be a very beautiful gift, and it's a very thoughtful gift. That's something more that I would probably give to a family member, somebody
Yeah.
who, you know, they know that I put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
So, tassel making 101. So let me put this up. Making tassels is a lot of fun, and I didn't realize how easy it was. So once I teach you this, you're going to be like, that's how you make a tassel. That's so simple. And then this is something where you could be sitting at it. Well, not right now, but when we can go back to sitting at doctor's offices, you're sitting there. Or sitting, I don't know, wait, you know, just sitting around. You could just be making these because you can actually make them with your hand. So you don't even need to bring anything along other than your string and your scissors. But if you want to get a really good size tassel, I usually use an envelope. I just found this right here on my craft table, so I'm actually just going to use this. So you're just going to take something, or your hand. So if you're going to do your hand, you're just going to hold your string, you're just going to wrap it around your hand like that, and that's all that you would do. If you don't want to use your hand, I'm going to use this piece of cardboard that I have here. So you're just going to start out by just wrapping a couple times some the twine, and you really go to the preference of thickness that you would want your tassel to be. So I think we're just about there. I don't want it to be too thick. And then you're gonna kind of cut
the last layer here.
that off there. I'm just gonna kind of tie this. I'm just gonna weave it through a little bit and then bring it back up the top. So as you can see, I'm just bringing it back up to the top like that. So now that you have your string wrapped around, you are just going to slide this guy off, but obviously keep it together. Oh, and before I slide it off, I'm going to get another piece, and this is what's going to wrap around the top of that tassel. So I'll just get some more twine here. And then I'm going to pull this off, but I'm going to keep a hold of that top piece. So as you can see, I'm going to pinch it there and bring that off. And I like the tops of my tassels to be very tight. So I'm going to go up more. If you like them to kind of be loose here, you can tie your knot further down, but I like it to kind of stay real nice and tight. And then you're going to wrap your other piece of twine in a knot just about there. And I like to wrap it around a couple times. So I'm going to start with a knot at the end of my string. I'm going to tie a knot here, keeping all those strings nice and tight.
Oh my goodness.
So it's going to look something like this.
I like that you're doing that jute twine. I think that's going to look really cool with that piece that you made.
It's going to make it look, yeah, very, I don't even know what the word is. Yeah, very muted. Very, that's that word I'm always looking for.
Earthy, boho.
Earthy. Yeah, something like that. Earthy. Primitive. That's the word. I can never remember that word. Primitive. Okay. So now that you have that tied, now I'm going to just kind of wrap it around and make it look real fancy.
Almost there.
I love how Carrie's just talking herself through it. You go, Carrie.
This is. I'm gonna make a book photo album.
I don't know. I'm done. I made an extra pom-pom with my leftover yarn.
I'm just over here pulling out the fabric and messing with mine.
Tie that into a nice knot. One more time, and then this is set, the top piece. Now I probably did that quite more times than I needed to, but that looks good. And now you're going to take that bottom that's all kind of grouped, and you're just going to snip this piece now.
These corners that are tough.
Tassel.
Yay. Tassel. I wonder what a pom-pom would look like out of that jute twine. I'm going to try it.
Oh.
Get
I
the
said don't go too crazy. Okay, so now once I put this in the oven and I string it through, I'm going to take this top piece, I'm going to attach it to that string, and then there you go. I don't know if you can kind of see this. I might add one more piece, maybe a pop of green or something in it, but I'll kind of bring this up and you can see what this will kind of look like. And then you'll be able to see that end project this weekend on social media.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna finish.
Looks so good, Carrie.
Oh, it took such a long time.
That is the perfect
And
gift.
antiqued it well before we came on here.
Oh my gosh. Especially if somebody has a favorite author or a favorite book and you did that. That is such a thoughtful gift for somebody who loves books. Wow.
So I'd be really sad destroying like a really like good novel, but
Oh yeah, don't do that to a Harry Potter book.
no. Dollar store book. Sorry, whoever wrote
Dollar
this.
store books are fine.
It is now a frame.
Well, it's getting just as much love.
Yeah,
if not more
Probably more love now. So. And I say this with like I get it. You write a book and it ends up at the dollar store and then somebody makes a frame out of it. It's being used and it was purchased. That's the biggest thing.
that
Every
person
writer
has to
has
have
a
money.
All right. Well, that's all that we have for you today. I think we're going to finish up here. I know I'm going to keep going and pop this in the oven. But thank you so much, you guys, for checking this out. I know Ryan shared with you guys what we'll be making next week. So we're getting ready for New Year's around here. So we've got some really, really cool ideas on whether or not you're having a virtual New Year's Eve party or one in your home or going somewhere. These are some really fun drinks that you can make up just to make that night a little bit more special. And some of these are just fun all year round.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be New Year's Eve.
Fun for any party.
So it's not your usual craft, but it is a craft all on its own. So we're really excited to get our hands on that next week. So please join us back here next Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I would like to remind you guys again, if you're looking for handmade products, we are an Etsy alternative. So please come take a look at what our makers have to offer and shop small this holiday season. So thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you back here next week. Bye.
Bye.